Awesome. What is up, guys? We are going to get started here in just a moment. I'm just checking to make sure we are going live okay. This workshop today is for excavation contractors and septic contractors, maximizing Google PPC for excavation and septic leads. And we're going to get going here in just a moment. It looks like we are live here on Facebook. Let's go ahead and check YouTube, make sure we're live on YouTube. Yep, looks like we're good to go. People are starting to come in, I think, on Zoom. Yeah. So we're good. We're going to go ahead and get this started on time. And so you guys should be able to see this screen share that I have. Go ahead and type into chat. If someone can give me a 1 that you can hear me okay and that you can see my screen. Looks like I'm getting some 1s. Perfect. Cool. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and get the ball rolling. So today's workshop is maximizing Google PPC for excavation and septic leads. And for those of you that have been following along with us, or if you're new, this is our digital dominance method for maximum lead flow and profitability of your excavation or septic company. And so each month we've been diving in to these different topics for marketing and sales for your excavation or septic company. And you can see here we're on item number 2, Google AdWords, and we've gone through SEO, we've gone through sales training, we've gone through Google My Business. So we're going to keep doing these each month. And by the way, for those of you who are on the call and you stay till the end, you are going to get a bonus. We have got our excavation and septic, brand new updated top search keywords for pay-per-click on Google and search engine optimization. And then on the right, you're also going to get our ultimate excavation website conversion machine. And that will really help your website turn into a lead generating machine by having the right calls to action and elements on place there. So my promise to you is that by the end of this full webinar, you'll have a complete understanding of proven best practices, how to maximize Google's pay-per-click platform for ideal excavation and septic leads. So why am I doing this? Well, I believe in reciprocity. And basically, you may not be looking to work with us right now, but you might know someone who could use help with running ads or marketing their excavation or septic business. Or perhaps in the future, you'll remember this and it will have helped you out. And so maybe later on, sometime somewhere, you'll want to get together and we can work together. So let's go over today's agenda, all right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cover the latest updates through September with Google Ads. And this is affecting specifically excavation and septic contractors. And you're going to learn the 5 biggest issues right now that could be preventing you from maximizing leads in your local service area. And this is our proven model for bringing in high quality leads on demand and with predictability. And you're going to learn the best tools to systematize and automate the heavy lifting for you. So who am I? Why should you listen to me? Well, I've got 14 years experience marketing outdoor service contractors. And in 2022, we shifted to work only with excavation and septic. And I'm published author of Excavation and Septic Internet Marketing Profits. That's the book on the right. It is available on Amazon, but I'm not going to plug it. I kind of did. Woo! And we've managed over $331,000 in Google ad spend. There's a look at our dashboard. You can see total $331,000, and that resulted in 180,000 clicks, 14.5 million first page views of ads, and tens of thousands of leads in that time. And these are some of the businesses that we have worked with over the years. And here's some of the results: leads, ROI, sales pipeline. You're going to be seeing how you can do this yourself in today's webinar by getting some of these strategies in place for your excavation or septic business. And our mission is to triple the sales of 500 excavation and septic companies. So I need your attention, please. Turn off your cell phones, folks. Focus. Close your door to your office. Exit out of other browsers. Remove distractions. If you're an excavation or septic business owner and you're serious about getting better results with Google Ads, the next 60 minutes are going to be critical. By the way, to stay up on the latest business sales and marketing trends for excavation and septic, what you can do is we have excavationmarketingpros.com/quick links. And when you go to that link there, it pulls up this little mini site that is free resources for excavation and septic contractors. Pretty cool, huh? So excavationmarketingpros.com/quick links. In there, we have our excavation business mastermind group. We've got lots of free goodies, documents, tools, tips, and tricks to help you grow your excavation or septic business. So here's what we're going to cover: why pay-per-click is key to unlimited scalability in terms of lead flow for your excavation and septic business, live examples of pay-per-click campaigns that are generating between 5 and 15 times ROI for other excavation and septic companies, how to set up and structure your pay-per-click marketing campaign for minimum cost per lead and maximum return on investment. And we're going to be covering your KPIs. Those are your key performance indicators for your business, your tracking, your landing pages, how your campaign structure should be set up. And here's an example of marketing excavation for a client: 64 leads, $284,000 in their sales pipeline. So why should pay-per-click be part of your internet marketing strategy for your excavation company or septic business? Well, for one, you start showing up quickly, near to instant. As soon as you push the button, that's it. Your ads start appearing on the front page of Google when people type in service-related keywords. And you can show up as often as possible where your customers are looking. And you can also show up for non-geographically modified terms. So like, for instance, just the word excavation. You could show up for that. Septic installer, land clearing, road construction. It lets you take advantage of very broad terms like that. And it's unlimited scalability once dialed in. Now, many of you have probably tried pay-per-click in the past. Go ahead and type a 1 in the chat if you've tried pay-per-click in the past and maybe it did not go according to plan. Maybe you did not get the return on investment that you had hoped for. Here's why most PPC campaigns fail. It's because sometimes people fail to understand the AdWords auction process and the complexity for excavation and septic industry. And what they'll do is they'll set up one ad group for all their services. Excavation, septic roads, tree removal, demolition, forestry mulching, you name it. They'll set up one ad for all those different types of services. Or they don't use specific text ads and landing pages for ad groups of keywords. Or they'll have no strong call to action or offer on the landing page. So the campaigns will get a ton of clicks and no leads. People will go to the landing page and it's just crickets. So we're going to fix all this today. By the way, this image, what this is symbolizing here is like all the campaigns for excavating, emergency septic, road construction, just driving them to one landing page. That also does not work. So can Google pay-per-click campaigns still drive revenue for excavation and septic businesses? What's up, Sammy? Want to give you a shout. I see that you're with us in the group. That's awesome. So if you guys believe that Google pay-per-click campaigns still drive revenue for excavation and septic businesses, type a 1 into chat. Want to give some shouts, by the way, to Annette. Thanks for joining us, Annette, and Ron. And sometimes if chat doesn't work, you can type in the Q&A. There's a Q&A button. Feel free to use that. I see we got a couple ones. Let me check over on YouTube. Awesome. So there's still hope. You guys still have hope. That's awesome. So here is some leads that have come in for a client. And then you can see on the right side, let me see if I can, there. If we look at the little check boxes, these are all marked Google ad, Google ad, Google ad. So if leads are coming in, you know, at that point, it's just a matter of, are they quality? If they are quality, then you can close them because it's new opportunities. It's people raising their hand. So it does work. The answer is absolutely yes, but you need to keep in mind, someone must answer calls or follow up with leads. Just to have leads come in, if no one's getting back to them in a timely manner, you can count on the campaign failing. So someone needs to get back. They did a study that from Google ad campaigns, that if someone is not following up within 10 to 15 minutes, usually that person is going on to the next person on the list. So speed pays. This only works if you set up your campaigns right from the start, which I'm going to show you in this webinar. And your landing pages must be on point to convert leads. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And you should know your numbers. So let me give you an example of what I mean by this. How many leads to make an appointment? How many appointments to send out a bid? How many bids to make a sale? And what will your average sale amount be? And then how many leads or how many sales do you need to break even and turn a profit? So one thing I always recommend to clients is that we target high income jobs for Google ads. Okay, that, you know, in all the services that excavation companies offer in septic, you're better off targeting the high value jobs and kind of eliminating the low value ones because you have a much better chance at a strong return on investment. And then, of course, how much are you willing to invest? So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you guys a proper setup and structure for your pay-per-click marketing campaign for a minimum cost per lead and a maximum return on investment. So first off is conversion tracking is a must. I will show you an example of what that looks like. But basically what that does is you can set up code for lead forms and calls that each time someone fills out a contact form or makes a call to your business, Google will track that and optimize the campaign for that type of person. And they have a lot of data on people as far as their demographics, what areas are generating the most leads, and so on. So it definitely helps out the campaign. And then your campaign must be broken into smaller ad groups targeting various services that you provide so that your text ads match what the person typed in. And then make sure you have a strong understanding of keyword match types, and don't forget about negative keywords, which I'll share that with you. Also, you need to write some compelling text ads that resonate with what the customer typed in and entice them to click on you versus the competition. And I'll show you some pretty easy tactics to do that so you're getting the click instead of your competitor. And then you're going to leverage ad extensions to make your ads stand out on the page. And probably one of the most important things is you have to land visitors on solid, well thought out landing pages on your site that are built to convert. One of the biggest mistakes I see is that business owners will drive traffic to their main website. And the problem with that is, and they may have a beautiful, gorgeous looking website, but the problem is then the person has too many options. And if you give someone too many options, too many choices, what do? They don't make a choice. It's analysis paralysis, and then they just leave the site. So you're better off, I'll show you how to set up your landing page in just a moment. And then ongoing split testing, tweaking, and fine tuning. So don't even think about spending another penny till you have conversion tracking in place. Here's some essentials of conversion tracking for excavation and septic companies. Dynamic number swapping with different phone numbers for pay-per-click traffic versus organic or direct traffic. You can use a keyword pool with dynamic number swapping so that you can track phone calls based on the keyword and campaign. You can use web form tracking and conversion tracking built into your AdWords campaign to determine which ad group generated the lead. And so the most important KPIs or key performance indicators for your business are going to be total ad spend, average cost per click, average cost per lead. And for that, we include calls and web forms. And for septic services, we're seeing anywhere from $25 to $40 per lead in competitive areas. And for excavation jobs, anywhere from $35 to $75 per lead in competitive areas. And then, of course, return on investment. So it's best to have a CRM, a dashboard to track your leads and return on investment. And this eliminates you having to ask potential customers, leads, how'd you find us? How you hear about us? Because a lot of times they don't know. They will click through an ad and they'll just say, I Googled you. But to you, they don't know if it's an organic search listing. They don't know if it's a Google My Business listing. They don't know if it's an ad. The average person just doesn't keep track of that thing. But if you're spending money on ads, you want to know for sure what leads and what customers are coming from those ads. And then with a lot of leads coming in, you need an efficient sales process that's well organized. Okay? So it's very easy as you scale up your business and you're bringing in more leads to lose track of who's been talked to, who hasn't. And, if you're just using Post-it notes, things can get lost in the shuffle. So here's a system that we use. I'll show you. So everyone starts out as a new lead. This is an example of a residential sales cycle. They start out in this column, and then once they're qualified on the phone, they get moved over to this column. Once the appointment is booked and the excavation or septic contractor has had the appointment, they go here. And then once they send out a bid, they get moved over here, where they're assigning the dollar amount of the bid. After that, if it's sold, they get moved over here to the sold column. So that's a very easy, efficient way to each day keep track of who's in our sales pipeline, who do we need to follow up with, and so on. And if you guys can track true return on investment, that's when you know you win the game. So here's how to structure your pay-per-click campaign. It must be broken into smaller ad groups targeting the various services that you provide so that your text ads match what that person typed in. So here's an example. You might have a brand campaign, which would be your company name, that anytime someone types in your company name, you're guaranteed to pop up number one. You might have general excavation as a campaign. So if someone typed in excavation company, excavation contractor, excavation company near me, those types of ads would pop up. Land clearing, sewer repair and replacement, septic systems, trucking, hauling, roads, demolition, driveways. These are all your various ad groups. They're going to be separate ad groups. Grading, core drilling, forestry mulching, pond construction. And then you can do a competition campaign. And what that is you can put in competitors' names as keywords. This is done by many, where you can put that in, and what that will do is if someone types in Bob's Excavation Company, your company will show up as well. You'll show up as an ad, and you can give that potential customer a choice. And those clicks are cheap. And so here's an example of what that looks like. You saw the previous list, right? So we just break those into their own ad groups, and those are going to become individual ad campaigns on Google. Here's an example, right? We talked about the general excavation campaign. So we have keywords specifically based around excavating near me and so on. And then we have ads based on those keywords, right? Top rated excavation company. These go for the general excavating style campaign. So those become your ad groups, just like this. And then keyword types matter. Let me give you some examples. And this is a great way to, if you know this is how you don't overspend your budget. Broad match would be targeting keywords just like that, excavating, excavation, and so on. The problem with that can be that if someone were to type in excavation jobs or excavation jobs near me, your ad would show up. And that's not a customer, right? That's someone looking for employment. And so if they click on your ad, you're still charged for it. So I'm going to show you how we get around that so you're not showing ads for people looking for what you don't want. Here's an example of modified broad match. You put a plus sign in front of it. Phrase match. This means someone needs to type in that exact phrase for your ad to appear. We see in quotes, excavating near me. The only way that your ad can pop up is if someone types in that exact phrase. An exact match would be like this. So Dallas excavation contractors, they would actually have to type in that, and we see it's in brackets, they would actually have to type in that exact keyword. Now, with phrase match, it says excavating near me. If someone were to type in find excavating near me, or if they talked into Siri and said, find excavating near me, your ad would still appear because it has that phrase, if that makes sense. And then here's how you get rid of, how you prevent your ad from showing where you don't want it to. So you can put in negative keywords like jobs, careers, how to, association, essay, etc. And if someone were to type in excavating jobs, your ad would not appear because you've added negative keywords to prevent that from happening. And so at this point, once you have your campaign set up, you need to write compelling text ads that resonate with what customers typed in and entice them to click on you versus the competition. Usually less is more. And tell them exactly what you want them to do. And if you have a special offer for the service that they searched, reference that in the text ad. That's even better. And then make it easy for them to reach you how they want. An example would be call or text, web chat, web form submission, and then automate and use AI to follow up with them. And I'll show you some examples of that. So here's some ads that have performed very well for us. Excavation Super Sale, family owned and operated, local company with equipment and knowledge to complete your project on time and on budget. Your top rated excavation company. Simple ad, that one works well. Commercial and residential, top septic installation service, competitive rates. Local company with equipment and knowledge to complete your project on time and on budget. Your top rated excavation company committed to superior quality and results. Call today. And then let me show you an example of how you can make your text ad jump off the page with what's called ad extensions. So if we look at this Google screenshot right here, we have a couple sponsored ads up top. Okay. This one up top has what's called site link extensions. See that? How it has septic installations, septic inspections, grading contractor, lot clearing, land clearing. It gives the person a little more insight onto what this company could do. And if you look at the one below, it says septic tank installation, 24/7 availability. It doesn't really list a whole lot. It's kind of a small ad, right? And then also you see here the deal. It's called a promotion extension, $1,000 off clearing and septic, code 10 off with urgency, ends April 30th. That's how you use a promotion extension and site link extensions. And it makes your ads a lot more powerful because they're bigger, and it gives the person a little bit stronger call to action because you're giving them a deal. And so the top one is one of our clients and the bottom one is a competitor. But which one would you click? I'm curious. Which one would you click? Now, I want to show you guys how to use your own online assets to dominate the Google 3-pack. And this is called location extensions. Okay. And so let me show you how that works. Annette says top one for sure. Yep. Thanks. Dan, I want to give a shout out to you. Hope you're well. So if we look at these results here on this page, right, we have EFR Excavating up top. We've got Gradescapes, Hoopaw Grading Company, Alden & Son Construction. A lot of people don't realize that that top one, EFR Excavating, is in fact an ad, that they are not physically in that location, okay? But they're using their Google My Business listing to appear as if they are in that location because they're willing to drive out to that area and do the job, okay? So that's something to keep in mind, is to use what you got. A free Google My Business listing with reviews will go a long way to helping you dominate Google ads. Okay, so that's what that is right there. And that's a nice, you can use that sneak attack to show up as a local business above competitors in nearby cities and towns that you want to service. And here's where you set those things up. Okay, so this is your assets. Okay, you can set up those types of things here. And there are other ones. I don't have enough time to cover them all in this webinar, but if you want to have at it, that's where you would go. And that will give you these types of things that I just showed you. Site link extensions, deals, promotional offers, and so on. Time-sensitive urgency. You can put those types of things in your ad. Okay, now let's talk about landing pages. Okay, it's best to have a solid landing page built to convert. And what I mean by that is don't give the people a lot of options to click around. When they go to the page, it needs to be very clear of what you want them to do. So this landing page right here, you can see it has call now or use form below for fast fair quote. And then it has the form right there. And then you have the reviews right next to it. Now this is done on purpose because we don't want the potential customer leaving the landing page saying, well, I want to go check these guys out before I give them a quote. All right. So that's the purpose of the reviews, is if you put that right there, they're not going to click away because it's pulling that right from Google. And you could pull these in from Facebook. You could pull these in from Home Advisor. Use what you got. If you have reviews publicly posted online, there will be a software or tool to pull those into your landing page. And that gives you what's called social proof. All right, so this is an example of a desktop landing page. Let me show you a mobile landing page for a smartphone or tablet. Okay, so on the right, you see what that looks like. It's the same concept, right? Same exact concept, but built to convert for a mobile site. And then what we do is use a CRM that tracks where leads came from and auto follows up with leads by SMS and email. Okay, so we can see on the left corner, it says contact source, Google Ads. And then you can see in the right, there's a little yellow shaded rectangle. That's the exact landing page that this lead clicked on to become a lead. Okay, and we could see this little follow-up. It says, hi, Ryan, this is Daniel getting back to you about your drain field quote. I'm reviewing this and will be in touch with you soon for your estimate. This is all done through automation, okay? And so there's some pretty fancy software that will do this. And then the person who fills out the lead says, great, thanks. You know, so as a business owner, this buys you time that if you're not able to get in touch with that lead right away, you don't want them going somewhere else if you can avoid it. And so this just helps buy you some time. So I'll give you just a quick little recap of where we're at. So how to accelerate your lead flow through paid Google search ads for excavation and septic contractors. Conversion tracking is a must. Your campaign must be broken into smaller ad groups targeting the various services you provide so that your text ads match what the person typed in. Make sure you have a strong understanding of keyword match types, and don't forget to use those negative keywords to block your ad from showing for things that you don't want. That will really eat up an ad budget if you don't have that in there. You need to write compelling text ads that resonate with what the customer typed in and entice them to click on you versus the competition. So like if they're looking for a land clearing quote, you would definitely want to reference in that ad land clearing, that you provide land clearing quotes, because that will match what they just typed in. And then you're going to capture that lead at the exact moment they typed in what they were looking for. Leverage ad extensions to make your ad stand out on the page. and then have visitors land on solid, well thought out landing pages built to convert. Now, here's some questions that I would encourage you to ask your pay-per-click provider. Okay. I would ask them first, how much of my budget will go to AdWords spend versus your management fees? How some digital marketing agencies operate is they will have a management fee that covers everything from paid ads to whatever it is they do. And the problem with that is, as the business owner, you don't really know how much of your retainer is going to spending ads for clicks. Okay. So I always recommend our process is to keep that separate, that any Google or Facebook or whatever platform, that spend is billed directly from those platforms. And then what type of tracking will be put in place? There's plenty of marketing agencies, folks, that they'll run the ads, but they don't put any tracking. And it's your best guess if that lead actually came from an ad. I would ask them, do you provide AdWords call and web form tracking? So here's an example. This is straight from the Google Ads dashboard. That this is what it should look like. Your actual campaign in Google should be tracking phone calls and leads. And what this does is, everyone knows Google's built off an algorithm, right? It thinks, and it gets smarter the longer you leave it run and the more conversions or leads you get. So as this account here you're looking at continues to rack up calls and leads, the campaign is getting smarter and smarter and more dialed in. And if you don't have this set up, I can most certainly guarantee you your campaign is going to fail. Okay. And of course you want to be tracking. An easy way for you to track where the calls and leads are coming from without getting into the weeds. So here's an example of one of our client dashboards. You can see in the little yellow rectangles, it says Google ad call in, Google ad call in, form fill Google ad, form fill Google ad. And then right above it, you can see it says GMB call in for Google My Business. So basically this is showing you separation that you can clearly see, okay, that's where this call came from, that's where that one came from. So you want to be able to know if you can delineate between pay-per-click calls or organic natural free calls from like search engine optimization. And then how will you track key performance indicators? Will there be a live dashboard? So you want to know your cost per lead. You want to know your cost to acquire a customer. And you should be able to track those. And then will you be setting up landing pages for each ad group, or will traffic be directed to the home page? One of the mistakes we see is that some pay-per-click providers will just drive all traffic to the website homepage that you have. And that's a mistake. That doesn't get best results. So if you're driving traffic to landing pages, how will those pages be optimized for conversion? Do you split test ads for each ad group? Will you be leveraging all of the ad extensions to make my text ads stand out in the search results? Some people, they'll set up the campaign, but they're not going to put in the extra stuff to make your ads pop because that's more time consuming, right? The location extensions, the call out extensions, the site link extensions, all those things. What are our targets in terms of cost per lead and return on investment? So this is something that your pay-per-click provider should be able to ballpark for you. Okay. So what makes our campaigns better or different? Well, we split test the campaigns into strategic ad groups based on our experience in excavation and septic businesses to help target your most profitable services. So we've got a lot of clients in the industry, and we can see what works and what doesn't really quickly because we have a lot of different accounts that we can look at and test things. We set up conversion optimized landing pages for each service you offer. We set up conversion optimization so that your conversions, your call and web form submissions are actually tracked and associated with a campaign and keyword in Google AdWords. So we can adjust the bid and spend strategy based on campaigns and keywords that are driving the best conversions. And there's a huge difference between this and a simple call tracking. So I know that sounds a little technical, but what I'm trying to say is there's plenty of marketing agencies that will do call tracking. In other words, they'll give you a call tracking number that records calls. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is what I showed you a minute ago in the Google Ads dashboard, where you have the campaign itself optimizing based on calls and leads. So you will easily know exactly how many calls came from pay-per-click versus organic search engine optimization. You can listen to recordings of those calls. You will know which keywords within your AdWords campaign drove leads at what cost. And then this makes it possible for us to optimize based on keywords that result in calls and stop wasting money on other keyword phrases that don't get a result. And so you will know your cost per lead, cost per customer. Your true return on investment can be seen in your dashboard. And then for each ad group, we set up multiple text ads and then rotate based on best converting ads each month. So our click-through rates and quality scores improve over time. And we do provide a KPI dashboard to help track the most important metrics. So complete transparency in terms of spending on AdWords and marketing management fees. Those are billed directly from each platform. Here's an example of our dashboard. It shows return on investment, leads, call recordings, everything for each marketing channel. Here's an example of the leads. You can see they're clearly marked in the right where they came from. Here you can see call tracking. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have some questions, we're going to open up a quick Q&A. If you want some help, you can go to excavationmarketingpros.com/schedule and get some help. And on that call, we do give a free online analysis of your visibility, custom keyword list of most important search terms for the jobs you want, ranking report showing where you rank currently, analysis of online directory listings and consistency, analysis of online reviews and reputation, analysis of your social presence, and analysis of your website conversion effectiveness. And you can get all that if you want to hop on a call by going to excavationmarketingpros.com/schedule. What's up, Ron? I want to give a shout to Ron. So if you guys have some questions, you can type them into the Q&A box. You can, I'm monitoring Facebook, YouTube, going once, going twice. And by the way, so you click that link, you're going to come to a page like this where you pick a time. There are a few questions we ask about your business to streamline our call. If you need some help, just type in the Q&A, let's talk. And so frequently asked questions coming up right now. Anyone have any questions for me at all? Going once, going twice. For those of you that stayed till the end, you do have your reward, excavationmarketingpros.com/Google reward. You go there and you're going to get your goodies that I shared with you earlier. Okay, so that is pretty much it. I want to thank you so much for your time and joining us today, and hopefully you got a lot of value out of this. I know you're busy, so I won't hold you any longer. Thank you so much, folks. Have a great rest of your day, and I wish you much success with your Google ads for your excavation or septic business.